Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
All right, now it's time to find out what's working in the world of tillage. My pleasure to have Tim Strom here with Brandt to talk high-speed discs. This is certainly one of those things, Tim, that has been taking the ag industry by storm. High-speed tillage.
Yeah, high-speed discs, started, back in, probably about 7 years ago. The first company on the market was another Canadian manufacturing Degelman. Then a company in the States got involved, and they started seeing some overseas shipments. Brandt is one of the last ones to come in the market, which has been good. They've seen what needs to be corrected and beefed up over the course of time. So I was with another company on the high-speed disc, and I'm sure enjoying the Brandt one. It's sure a well-built machine. So
how long have you been with Brandt?
Actually, yesterday it'd be 2 years.
Hey, well, congratulations. Yep. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that you had a tillage background as well. So how long have you been working on agricultural tillage technology and tools?
Well, I started, in the high-speed disc side of it, I guess I've been in the ag business now going on 38 years. So my first 15 years was in the sugar beet industry. And so then, but no, the high-speed disc, the other company I worked for, we were just in the development stage, and I did all the testing. This is what works, this is what doesn't work. So I'm pretty sure that's why Brandt wanted me to come on board with them, and it was a good fit. That's
great. And these high-speed discs can be used spring or fall, correct? It really doesn't matter?
Yes, it does. They can be used both spring, fall. These units make a very nice seed bed, nice, smooth, level seed bed. There's been some testing done at the Iowa State University on the finishing product from a high-speed disc versus a field cultivator. You get a lot smoother seed hard pan underneath with a high-speed disc than you do a field cultivator. So, with today's new and improved planters with all the down pressures, it sure makes a lot of difference that you're just getting that nice level seed bed underneath.
Yeah, I actually was talking with Dave Whitaker, co-host of ours, and this is his first ever crop getting planted this year. And he was even toying around with his soil finisher, and I explained to him how important it is to have that consistency, not just on the surface, but throughout the entire pass, making sure that planter has optimal conditions to run in. Yeah,
that is correct. I mean, the worst thing when you're out trying to plant, you're going to plant your corn that 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. You want to maintain that seed depth for even germination throughout the field. And I've had some guys that have bought the Brandt high-speed disc, and they'll run their high-speed disc. They're not convinced yet that this is, they want to keep their field cultivator too. So some of these guys got a lot of acres. They need to cover some ground. So he ran the field cultivator and the high-speed disc across the road from each other. And we were actually 2 days early germination coming out of the high-speed disc.
Wow.
And 2 days means a lot.
It does. It certainly does, especially when our windows, it seems like, for quality weather are getting smaller and smaller to make these passes happen. But that's one of the touts that Brandt puts out here, is that it's one of the most efficient residue management and seed bed preparation passes.
Yeah, it is. And, a lot of, you go back to, back in, 10, 15 years ago here, guys go out and harvest their corn, let the neighbor come in and bale it for corn stuff, for cattle bedding and stuff. And, I keep trying to explain to them that that's some pretty profitable or pretty expensive material you're letting the neighbor have if you can put that back in your soil, just the nutrients that's in there.
Yeah, you're right there. So as we talk about the disc itself, on standard, what kind of horsepower do we need to pull one of these?
Well, you're going to need, that I always tell everybody 15 horse a foot. and that's going to vary in different areas you're at. If you're here in where I'm at, I'm sitting in West Fargo, North Dakota, in the Red River Valley where it's as flat could be. I can get by with that 15 horse foot. You get out into parts of southern Minnesota, Iowa, let's say the Palouse country in Idaho, and you got hills, so now you're talking 20. So it's going to vary, but I've always had the standard of that 15 horse a foot running that 4 or 5 inches deep at that 10 miles an hour.
I was going to ask you, how fast is optimal to pull it?
Well, 10 miles an hour is kind of the low point, because if I don't get that speed, I'll end up with disc ridging underneath. So if I get up to that 10 plus, then I'm going to shear that hard pan under and make that smoother. So 10 to 14, I've had them up to 17.
Sure.
Which,
that,
for the fun of it. But
I was going to say, that would be an interesting ride in the cab of a tractor running 17 mile an hour.
It was in some nice flat beam stubble, so it went pretty good.
That would certainly be a story. So what kind of sizes are we looking at? How small do you go?
Well, we build 7 sizes. So we have a 16 to 21 footer, which is a 2-section unit. So we call them our bifolds.
Okay.
Then I go up into the 3-section unit, which I have a 26, a 31, a 38, a 41, and a 45.
Holy smokes. 45?
Yeah, 45, there again, that's, Western Canada, nice flat ground up there. I mean, you're going to need, and I guess you get out in those areas and they're not tilling that 4 or 5 inches deep. They're just trying to, prevent the little kochia from growing. And
yep.
So it's, a couple inches if that. And so, 45 takes a lot of horsepower. That's what the first year when we built the 45, not Brandt, but in other companies, I'm going, there's nobody got enough horsepower to pull this thing. So,
well, hey, down at Commodity Classic, John Deere unveiled a tractor that might be able to pull it the way it's designed to be pulled. That'd be kind of a fun marriage to get a trial going. So as Dave, is looking at what tillage practices, what practices in general that he wants to put here in his first crop, it's going to be quite interesting. I do know that he doesn't have a tractor big enough to pull your smallest version. So
okay.
If we get one for him to play with, I might have to lend him a tractor to run over. But
so a hobby farmer.
That's correct. He's an auctioneer. Yep. Just gets to play in the dirt for fun as far as that goes.
But nothing wrong with that. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I play in dirt for fun, and hopefully I sell some.
So what sets the disc apart from the competitors? What are things that Brandt's improved over those of the other?
Well, it's just the design, the weight of it. We're the heaviest one in the industry. We're right around that 1,000 pounds a foot. We do have wing down pressure, which the wing down pressure is going to avoid what we call the washboard effect. So I'm taking a little bit more weight and distributing it out to the wings, so I'm not having so much weight on the center. So I'm getting that pressure out on the wings just to, that washboard effect there. So,
yeah. So if go ahead.
Our pins, we use an induction chrome hardened pin with fiber bushing and wiper seals on each end. Those pins on the Brandt machine will outlast the life of the disc. And that's the big concern with all the growers is pin wear, stuff like that. You will not see that on the Brandt.
That's a good little extra bonus there to not have to worry about it at all.
Right.
How's supply going? Are you guys, if someone wants to order one, what's the lead time look like?
We are sitting really good. We got a lot of field inventory out there across the board on all of our products, but we do have some field inventory on discs. So if Farmer A wants to try one, here this spring, we could come up with one. We have them all sizes everywhere, 16 to 45 foot in the States here. So we're sitting pretty good.
That is, that's nice to hear. I know it hasn't always been that way over the most recent couple of years. So if someone does want to order, what's the best way for them to look up the product?
Just go out on our website, and there's some videos out there and stuff like that. Get with your local dealer. They could take you into our company portal and show you some comparisons and stuff in there.
I like that. Yeah, Brandt.ca. And I got the high-speed disc page pulled up right now on the agriculture tab. Got a couple of videos and a lot of really good information out there for our listeners as well. So is there anything else you want to talk about to the disc before I send you off?
Well, I mean, like I said, this is, I've been in the high speed disc since the inception of it. So um, I I truly believe Brandt is one of the best built ones out there. And I've always said that in my line of business. I don't like to knock a competitor. I can sell what I have, and I think this is an easy sell compared to anybody else on the market.
Hey, that's perfect. And we like the advantages that the tillage tool can bring to our listeners here on Farm for Profit. So we appreciate you, Tim, taking time to share the information.